Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So let's discuss judicial powers of the Registrar of Copyrights. So far we discussed about what is copyright and a lot of other elements of copyright. So in this class we'll discuss about what are the different powers that the Copyright Registrar Office has got, right? So when you want any copyright, you have to fill the application and email it to the Registrar. Emailing is nothing but posting to the Registrar of Copyrights. When this goes there, and then they will consider your application, and then they will start giving you the minimum period is there within 35 days or 45 days. All those things are that we will discuss. So copyright, usually to get a copyright, how you have to used to apply for a patent in last class, what we had discussed. Similarly here also, but what you are doing is you are instead of filing an application for a patent, then here you will be writing or filling all the application of copyright registration application and send it to the Registrar of Copyright. There it was Registrar of Patents, here it is Registrar of Copyrights. So Registrar of Copyrights has got some powers. Okay, so it will work as civil court. Okay, so whenever there is some issues or infringement of copyrights, all these things that has to be addressed to the Registrar of the Copyright. Whenever you have some issues, imagine you compose a song and you have a copyright for that, and somebody else uses that, you can actually also write because you have already registered, so only you have got copyright. So you can raise a query that someone has worked or used or infringed my copyright, so that the registrar office will call both of them and they can issue the summoning. They can also start the investigation on the case, and they will be the one who decides who is wrong and who is right. So based on that only they are also entitled to give the final decision should be taken by the Registrar of Copyrights. So now for the registration of copyrights and all we had discussed, right? So now what are the powers this particular Registrar of Copyrights has got, that we are going to discuss. Now the Registrar of the Copyrights has the powers of a civil court when trying a suit under the Code of Civil Procedure in respect to the following matters. Whenever there is a lawsuit is there or lawsuit has been filed, so then only you will find the what can it do, what the Registrar of Copyrights can do, or what are the different powers it has got. The first thing is summoning or enforcing the attendance of any person, and as well as examining him on oath. So imagine that in the case which I told you, you composed a music, somebody copied it, all those things. So now I have given the register, now you have given the case against some person or a company, you have filed a lawsuit. Now that person or a company has to report to the court, okay, or has to report to the Registrar of Office or the civil court. And they can issue the summoning in the sense like it's like an order that you have to come and report, and they can also enforce the attendance of any person. He can be the most influenced person also. So and also they have rights to examine him under the oath. Now requiring the discovery and the production of any document, if at all the case lawsuit has been filed, they can request from anyone any kind of document which are related to the copyrights. Next, receiving evidence on affidavit. Okay, so they can also ask you what are the evidence, okay, regarding to the evidence. Okay, so issuing the commissions for the examination of witness or the documents. So there will be a number of work will be there, so they can ask you for commissions for the examination of witnesses, because since it's like almost like a investigation, no, like that. Next, requisitioning any public record or copy thereof from any court or office. They can also go for requisition. Okay, requisitioning of any the public record. That means imagine that particular you composed music, but somebody has published it, so that is already now available in public, so they can requisite. So that means they can remove that from that public office and they can use. Next, any other patterns which may be prescribed. Okay, so anything which is prescribed in the particular rules and regulations or sections of any laws, all those things will be included, and all the powers will this particular registrar of copyrights will have related to copyrights. So now how you are going to file, because a duly filed application, that is form number 14 is submitted to the copyright office at the following address. Now the registrar of the copyright, plot number 32, Baudik Sampada Bhavan, section 14, Dwaraka, New Delhi 110075. This is the address where you can file. Now the application can be submitted by post or online registration. You can go for the online, or also you can go for the by post also. Online, if you want to do, just follow the link www.copyright.government.in. So next, any person who is either an author, he can be the author or the assignee. Assignee means, see, I imagine I have the famous writers of novels and all. They themselves will not go and do all these registration, submission, all these works. They will have an assignee. Okay, they will be taking care of their copyright related work. So either it can be the author of the work or it can be assignee of the concerned work. They can both, anyone can file application of copyright. Now usually it takes around 2 to 3 months to get a work registered by the copyright office. So it means 2 to 3 months it takes when you apply from the starting of the application. Next, after applying, once you apply, now there is a mandatory waiting period for the 30 days. You have to wait. Next, if any person has any objections, imagine as we discussed earlier, it's got any objections on your work or something like that, or the claims which you made in the application, he can contact to the again registrar of the copyright. Same thing what we discussed in the module 3 for patents. So after giving an opportunity of hearing to both the parties, once so imagine you have composed the music and somebody has copied and published it. So that person and you both are here two parties. Okay, so they will hear from you and they will hear from them. They will see your proofs, they will see their proof. They will also see whether you had already taken registered under copyright. That is also will be seen, because that will be helpful. You remember in the beginning of this model we had discussed about the copyright registration is not necessary, but it is highly important whenever the infringement happens. Also you can go for the objections. Okay, so after giving an opportunity of hearing to the both parties, the registrar may decide the case in favor or against the author of the work. It depends, it goes on the favor of author, and sometimes it may go against the author also, because if he has already copied of the somebody's work which is already published. Okay, so once the objections, if any, are cleared, if any objections are there which are objected by the some people, that has to be cleared, right? That will be cleared by the office of the registrar copyright. So once it is cleared, the application is evaluated by the examiner. Same thing what we had studied in the patent. After 18 months it will be published in the public domain, and 6 months will be there for the challengers to challenge. If everything is settled, then they can go for the examination. Same thing here also, you can go for the evaluation once the objections are settled or cleared. So if any doubts or queries are raised, Okay, then the applicant is given ample time, that is called around 45 days to clear these objections. If any objections or any doubts are there about your copyrights or whatever the work you have done, then you will have 45 days of time to clear the doubts. This usually happens in the whenever we are writing the book chapters or articles, all these things. Now the elements included in copyright filing to grant are depicted below the flowchart. So you can see these are the different elements. Filing the application along with the fee in the beginning, issue of a tidy number, you will get a number, you will be assigned a particular number. Then 30 days you have to wait, you cannot ask them to publish earlier. Okay, they will see if the objections are filed or not. If no, then scrutinization by the examiner starts, and if any discrepancy is there, then again it will enter to this step where discrepancy letter will be issued to the applicant. Then discrepancy is nothing but if any doubts are raised by the examiner, same thing, and discrepancy letter is issued to the applicant. Once it is goes, you have to reply from the applicant, and that has to be satisfied with the examiners and the registrar. So decision of the registrar will take place based on your reply. If they satisfied, then they will go for the registration of approved work, and if there is no any discrepancy, directly it will enter to the registration approved. Now if the registration is approved by the registration of registrar, then we can sending the same thing from the registrar to the applicant. Okay, so application will receive a copy by saying that your copyright registration is approved. If at all is not approved, then it has to go for the application rejected, then sending the same information to the applicant. Understood? So this is how it happens if the objections are not there. If the objections are there, then sending letter to the applicant. Okay, then because it will not be considered as the application accepted. Okay, so reply from the application. Okay, and then hearing will be there from the both parties as we just discussed in the previous slide, and once the hearing is done, the decision will be taken by the registrar. If satisfied, application will be published. Okay, so if not satisfied, again it will go to the application rejected. So application accepted, application rejected. In the case of objection not filed, usually the application will be accepted by the examiners itself. Later, if any doubts are there, that has to follow through this particular thing. Understood? So these are the different elements which are involved in the copyright registration, or you can say the steps. Okay, so and there is a table which is given for the important forms which are related to the copyrights. The first thing is as we discussed for number 14, applications or form of the copyright registration form. Next, form 15, that is application form of registration of changes of a particular of copyrights. If anything you want to change, that you have to fill this form. Next, form number 8, that is the registration of copyright society. And next, form 1, that is application form of the relinquishment of copyrights. So that's it. The next class we will discuss about the fees structure.